Republican Richard Collins, a state representative in Delaware, has sponsored a new anti-abortion bill, but he wants to assure us that it's not based on some crazy religious belief or his hatred of women. No. He wants to stop abortions in the state of Delaware because women need to get busy repopulating the earth. He says the birth rates are down in this country. We got to get going. We got to start having more babies, ladies. I'm looking out for you. I'm looking forward to the future. And that's why we need as many babies as we can get. Now, aside from that being a super creepy thing for this sitting representative to be out there telling us, it's also completely false. This guy knows exactly what he's doing. He's just trying to put a unique spin on it. In fact, here is what he told a radio show earlier this week. He said, God is moving in strange and wonderful ways, folks. Gun bills that we've talked about will save essentially no lives because it will have no impact on criminals getting or keeping their guns. But every single year we kill hundreds of people in abortions. You know, we have a massive problem in this country. Our birth rate is way below replacement levels. You know, we're just not having enough babies. So that's it, ladies. He doesn't want to take away your right to choose. He just wants you to become little baby factories so that we can repopulate the United States that we were actually just told a week ago is full. Remember that? Remember a week ago, Donald Trump telling us that this country's full? We can't take any immigrants because it's full? Apparently, Representative Collins here didn't get the message because he's telling women in Delaware to, start churning out these babies as fast as you can, and I'm going to make abortion illegal because I care so much about just having as many people as possible. But don't get your hopes up, folks, because Collins, like most Republicans, will do absolutely nothing to help those children once they're born. He just wants to make sure that women have the child. After that, they're on their own. Sorry if you can't afford food for the baby, if you can't afford diapers, if you can't afford food from yourself, if you have to take 6 weeks off work and you're not going to get paid for it. Oh, well, that's your fault, ladies. That's the same kind of Republican logic we see time and time again. Oh, also, we're not going to cover your medical care while you're pregnant because we defunded Planned Parenthood because we lied about what it is they actually do. You see where I'm going with this? Republicans want to do everything possible to tell women they can't make a choice about their bodies. But when those same women end up in financial dire straits because of the decision Republicans made for them, Republicans say, well, too bad. You're on your own. Maybe you should have thought twice before you tried to repopulate the planet. That's not how it works. And I hope women remember this. Remember these idiots like Representative Collins up in Delaware who will spin it any way they have to not have to say that they don't trust women to make choices about their own bodies. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.